All right, well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Moxie Monday today, August 1st. Believe it or not, we are well on our way to concluding our summer. Let me just get finished setting up here. All right, so can you let me know if you can see my screen? Anybody? Yep. Okay, great. Thank you so much. So, we are going to talk about vanity URLs today. So, this is when your agents have the opportunity to go to a site like GoDaddy and purchase a vanity URL. So, we know our naming parameters for our Moxie sites are first name dash last name dot CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt, Ohio, CBFloridaHomes.com. But they can purchase a vanity URL. It could be Joe Sells Real Estate or Traverse City Real Estate, whatever's available on GoDaddy.com or other sites like that. There's a few other ones. GoDaddy is just the main, most well-known one. So an agent has an opportunity to purchase those vanity URLs, and they're usually typically quite inexpensive, usually $12 to $15 a year. And then they can direct that to their Moxie site. Now, the new part of this process is we used to have to go through the help desk, which we know is not ideal. They're not super communicative sometimes. But now our agents have the opportunity to do this for themselves. They can actually link their vanity URL to their Moxie sites without having to go through the help desk. So it's a new process, and we're pretty excited about it because it does take that one step out. It's a little technical. There are some domain settings that need to be set up in GoDaddy, but Moxie really kind of lays that out for our agents and helps it make it a lot more clear. Now, if your agents want help on this, they can go ahead and give us delegated access to their site, and then we're able to help them administratively on this. But they do have to do the purchasing part themselves. And if they do want help, we do also need access to their GoDaddy or whatever their domain hosting website might be, because we do have to get in there to do those settings. So I'm going to show you what the opportunity is. And then if you have agents that are interested in doing this, they can just reach out and ask for help if they want to, and we can help get this set up. So the first thing we need to do is jump into our website manager. And right here on Moxie is my website. So we'll go ahead and click on that and give it an opportunity to load. And this is our agent website admin tool. This is where they go in to turn on their SSL. This is where they can go in and add site pages, make a custom homepage. This is where they can go to put their DBA logo. This is every opportunity they want to customize their own Moxie websites. And this is also where we can go in here to add our vanity URL to our site. So we want to go over to the left where it says settings. And when you hover over it, the submenu kind of popped up, but when you click on it, it fully opens so that you can get down to where you need to go. And that is right here where it says personal domain. So you can see, like I mentioned, our naming parameters, first dash last dot, and then whatever your URL is for your region. But you can also add another one. So maybe I want Carrie Scott Sells Real Estate. Well, Carrie doesn't, but if that's the one I wanted, I would go to GoDaddy, purchase it first, and then you want to come to Moxie to do that. And it lets you know right there is number one is get a custom domain. So it does give you a help article if you want to have Moxie help you do that, but you can go to GoDaddy or anywhere else to purchase that vanity URL first. And then it says right here, have a vanity domain, skip to step 2. So once you've purchased that from GoDaddy or whatever it is that you're purchasing it from, you want to come to here and you type it in right here. So maybe and this is a fake one, so we're just going to use it for example. So you would type that in and then you click check, and then that will make sure that the system is checking to make sure that that is a valid vanity domain. Now, obviously mine's not. I haven't purchased it. It's not real, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to skip that. But essentially your agents would click check, and then once it comes back confirmed, they click save. This is where it lets you know that you have to go into GoDaddy, Google Domains, Network Solutions, wherever it is that the vanity URL was purchased, and it gives you the DNS settings to update. Now, again, this is a little bit more technical, so if your agents are wanting help, have them reach out. But you need to add the A record and the CNAME record in just that way. So these can be copied and pasted over to make sure that it's being typed correctly, however your agents want to do that. But these settings do have to be done in your domain hosting site. So you can see It gives you the GoDaddy information. It gives you information for Google domains if that's where you've purchased it, and network solutions as well. If they have a vanity hosting service outside of these, they'll have to reach out to Moxie to get those certain settings to make sure that they have them correct. So again, step 1, purchase vanity domain. Step 2, type it in here and check it. Step 3, go back to where you purchased it, put in your DNS records. And then once that's done, I always recommend letting it sit and marinate for just a little bit, and then come back here and initiate domain verification. Once the system's had a chance to do what it needs to do, typically just a couple of hours, the agent then gets an email notification saying that it's been complete. And with the last step right here, which you can see once your domain is verified, they will email you confirmation. And then there's one final step in order to come back here and set that as your primary. Your agents, if they've marketed their previous URL before, it's still valid. It'll still go to their website, as will their new updated vanity URL. So if they have business cards or postcards out there or whatever it might be, still a valid URL will still direct to their Moxie websites, but in addition, they'll have the opportunity to have their vanity URL directed to their Moxie site as well. So again, we were in Moxie. We went to my website, which is our website manager. We went to the left where it said settings, and then we scrolled to personal domain, and that's where this site will come up here. So again, purchase the URL. I do recommend GoDaddy. It's just the one that we use as a company. It's the one that I'm more well-versed in, but there are other opportunities out there as well. So once the domain is purchased, come in here and type it in, click check. Once it comes back as an actual valid domain, click save. Pop back over to GoDaddy or your hosting service, update your DNS records, initiate domain, and then an email will come to you with the finalized step, and then your agents will be good to go. Their vanity domain will be active, as will their previous domain as well, which is that naming parameter that we had discussed. So that's what I have for you guys today for Moxie Monday. Again, this was a step that the help desk used to have to do. Used to have to wait 2 to 3 days. Now it's automatic that the agents can go in and do this for themselves. But again, if they get a little confused or if they need additional help, don't hesitate to reach out and we can help them get that set up for them as well. I'll give it just another moment to see if any questions have come up. Yes, Tom. Yes, you can have more than one and they all direct over to your site. Yep. If there is a limit, I'm not quite sure what it might be, but I've known agents that have had 3 or 4. So I can find out if there is an actual number. But, typically an agent wouldn't have more than just a few anyway. You're welcome. Good question. All right. Well, I think that about does it for today. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget this Wednesday at noon is our Bagging Leads series. All of August, every Wednesday at noon, we'll have a session about listings to leads and how to utilize that platform to drive leads into your inbox. We're pretty excited about it, so join us Wednesday at noon. Head over to your education calendars for that link, and we'll be excited to utilize our listings to leads platform in order to drive leads to all of our agents. So thanks so much, everyone, for your time today. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week.